A very warm welcome to you. Many thanks for finding time to be with us again on this week's edition of the program. Now, don't forget to remain your source for all the latest happenings in the world of business. My name is Lucy Ube. Welcome. On our lineup this week, International Men's Day is celebrated across the world on November the 19th. But the celebration continues all year round as it marks a call to action to recognize and appreciate the roles and contributions of men as fathers, brothers, husbands, and colleagues. The theme of the 2021 IMD is better relations between men and women. We are all responsible for our individual actions and thoughts all day, every day. International Men's Day is not intended to compete with International Women's Day, but to highlight the importance of men's physical, mental health, and positive masculinity as we collectively choose to create an inclusive world. This week, we continue our special report on change makers in insurance business as we celebrate individuals and organizations that are taking calculated and positive steps to create inclusiveness in the insurance industry. Today, we will speak to four amazing men from two outstanding insurance institutions, African Alliance Insurance PLC and FBN Insurance Limited. We will speak with Mr. Victor Peters, Head Agency, and Mr. Azuka Ochonogo, Head Group Life Technical, both of African Alliance Insurance PLC. We will also speak with Mr. Adeola Adekunle, Head Actuarial Services, and Mr. Omekwe Odinakachi, Executive Director, Retail Distribution Division, both of FBN Insurance Limited. These positive change makers share their thoughts on what it takes to build better relations between men and women for a better workplace and society in general. Take a listen.
Here in African Alliance, I think it's a level playing ground, unbiased hiring system, based on applicants' competence, applicants' capacity to do the job, character, and it's quite a level playing ground based on performance. KPIs are set for both gender and regular training, compulsory training out of KPI for all the staff, both men and women. So these are the ways, to make sure there's no gender bias and access and growth, is placed on the table for everybody to do what? Based on performance.
Organization should be deliberate about it. Make sure that, from certain level or at all levels, there should be some form of balance in gender as regards employment, as regards the workforce. So that should be monitored and checked from time to time to make sure that there is no skewness at any point.
The business also places emphasis on health check, and there are communications to that. What you need to watch out personally, if male or female, what you don't give room to before it gets to a bottleneck. And if there are issues, the business encourages you to walk up to whoever you think you are free to talk to and express yourself. If that person is actually not your direct supervisor, as the case may be, they may also be able to advise you on what next to do. And the key part, if it's financial burden, which is the major one that puts everybody into distress, at the end of the day, we open up opportunities for you to come forward and express where you have burdens, and the business supports as much as it could. Doing all this to ensure that you don't get to bottle up everything to yourself as our common language now. They show.
So the point is that there is this notion, there is this perception that, look, it is meant for men. And that is actually what is affected. Take it from even the presidency. How many female presidents have you produced in Nigeria? Do you know what I'm saying? Now, look at governors, the whole state, right from time. There hasn't been any state female governor. So you see that it's beyond insurance. So there is need for these things to begin to happen, so that people don't see it as this position is for this particular business.
What more can I say than to urge you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the lineup. Details in just a moment. Please stay with us. International Men's Day is celebrated across the world on November 19th. It is a global day set aside to recognize and appreciate the role of men as fathers, brothers, husbands, and colleagues. This day holds significant value as it promotes the positive role of men in framing the society. The campaign theme of the International Men's Day this year is better relations between men and women. The day also draws attention to the discrimination faced by men as well as issues of physical and mental health. Men are rarely celebrated in the insurance industry, despite the critical roles they play and are still playing in the growth and development of the insurance business in Nigeria. Some insurance and brokerage companies, however, are taking deliberate steps to create equal opportunities and a level playing field for all gender. African Alliance Insurance PLC and FBN Insurance Limited are among the few insurance companies taking calculated steps to bridge the gender gap. On this edition of our special report entitled Change Makers in Insurance Business, we speak to Mr. Victor Peters, Head Agency, and Mr. Azuka Ochonogo, Head Group Life Technical of African Alliance Insurance PLC. We will also speak to Mr. Adiola Adekunle, Head Actuarial Services, and Mr. Umeke Odinakachi, Executive Director, Retail Distribution Division, FBN Insurance Limited, as they share their thoughts on International Men's Day.
Yes, I think I totally agree with you because before now, we have lots of men heading top positions of insurance companies and like CEOs of insurance companies. But now times have changed. We now have lots of women taking up key roles as well as heading lots of insurance companies. So yes, I think it's a change.
Yeah, I agree strongly. Historically, we had a lot of men, heading insurance institutions, and in recent time, the paradigm have changed, where we now have female executives, heading insurance organizations. And I give you example with our own organization, African Alliance Insurance PLC. We are for 60 years running was all men CEOs. But in recent time, from 2017, we had a female, the first female CEO. We had another female acting MD, and we currently have a female CEO, and also female executive director, and ladies too, as members of the management. So historically, yes, but recent times, there's a serious shift. I wouldn't say that that there's a wage gap, because there's always a salary and wage structure for every organization.
To also add to that, everybody has their bargaining strength and negotiation power when getting a new job. So it's basically the for me, I think that when I just started working, my parents were staying quite far as Ikorodu. I remember those days we used to take bikes all the way from Ikorodu to the island because we had to wake up and we had deadlines to meet. Times where we had to take local boats all the way to the office, where the local boat would splash water all over your suits. So that you come to the office and tidy up and show up on your desk like nothing happened. So those were personal sacrifices we had to put up with at that time.
Starting out as a sales agent, it wasn't. It was very challenging. As a fresh graduate, taking up the job of selling life insurance. I can basically tell you there's no street in Lagos that my leg did not touch. Yeah, because what we are told is that we are selling insurance, that as insurance agent, that your shoe will bend. So, having that in mind, it was really challenging. It was quite a humble beginning, and but in the long run, is a great experience. What have actually seen me through has been the desire for success, the commitment, because you must, as a sales agent, there are a number of prospects you must see. As a young bachelor, the desire for success was there to set up and establish oneself. So there was so focus, that enthusiasm for the job, seeing some people as my role model who have also done the job of selling insurance and succeeded. Like my first agency manager then, it was a really source of encouragement. But the greatest sacrifice I made was that of commitment, that of humility, ability to learn the job from those who had actually excelled as role models. Then persistency, because selling insurance is very, very difficult.
majority of all the insurance companies in Nigeria are managed by male. Anyway, the point is that it's been like that, but there is a change in syndrome. It's becoming, you can see female are beginning to see themselves in those strategic positions. Take, for instance, NIA today, which is a major institution in insurance space, is also being managed by a woman now. You have NCA, you have African Alliance, and some other couple of insurance companies. So the trend is changing. But if we want to look at it historically, it's been like that.
Historically, insurance being defined as a difficult course in the school days, it only implies that we find very little female there. As female became interested, yes, they started coming into the course gradually. So that was why the founding fathers of Tunji Braithwaite and Baba Akin George, you could only see male grow. But along the line, we started interesting the female to get involved in the insurance world. And as they started, you clearly will have seen the result today. So they started coming in, growing into the field, and that's why we see the landscape gradually changing. Like you rightly said, the Market Association, NIA, is being headed by a female today, Mrs. Silori. Even CIN, the institute, is headed by a female, Bimbo. So things are gradually changing. I think it was more of a thing of interest in the past and the perception that insurance actually was a difficult course those days that kept female alone.
Like in avian insurance, where I work, there is no wage gap in this case. It's a matter of your input, your ability to deliver your deliverables, and also the space you occupy and what you apply for, and this thing. But there is no gender differences with regards to wage in this circumstance, because if you are in a particular category, whether you're a male or a female, there is no differentiation in their distance. So whichever position you find yourself, as far as it is a deserved position, is given, and whatever that obtains in that particular position is given to you, irrespective of your gender.
I've struggled to imagine why there will be a wage gap between male and female, because I will think what determines wages should be probably the organization that is recruiting you, your experience, and practically what you're bringing to the table. So whether it's done by a male or a female, the wage is set. And I'm not sure any organization will probably say, because it's a female, then I can cut the wage down. So I will be shocked if there's, no, I will be shocked. Play for example, the field I am an actuary. If you compare what we earn, whether male or female, probably earn almost the same thing, because most times we talk. And if an organization is not able to pay that kind of wage, it's probably the way the organization cannot afford it. Where I started, you cannot be running on a peanut GPW and be expecting to pay hugely. So what you will pay at the end of the day will be determined maybe your revenue as an organization. And I'm not sure there will be discrimination between male and female at that stage. Interesting question to ask. Ceiling dependent on your role, but not dependent on gender. So organizations might clearly imagine for this particular role, you're probably not going to go beyond this grade. But it doesn't say that, yes, if you demonstrate that you can do something else and you've got the wherewithal to be able to do it effectively, then you just need to move. And that happens everywhere. So you see most of us, when we start those days, talking in particular about the insurance industry, a lot of people start from being technical staff, underwriting. You do your underwriting. There's a little more knowledge you want to get from the market, from banking yourself to the technical underwriting. So if you say you want to continue to do this, you probably put yourself a ceiling at some point. But for you to be able to say it's a general ceiling and relative for male or female, I probably think there's nothing like that. Rather, I would rather think if you want to do more and you want to grow to that top, then you need to do what it takes to get to that top, which might, in some cases, require a change of road.
Yeah, like you rightly said, it's a choice of career. You know, when you have, in this very part of the world, not even limited to ABM insurance, if you look at the, both in the banking, insurance sectors, and so many other organizations, you see that most people that usually get to the top faster are those that belong to the business development space. You know what I'm saying? And you know the activities that happen in that space. You know there is key ingredients that you need to possess that would put you to that particular space. Relationship is there. Getting to high network individuals there. Contact. Do you get what I'm saying? So taking it down to whether is this, you see some women who also want to play in that space. Seen quite a number of women who decided to go into business development, marketing, sales, distribution, and all the rest. You know what I'm trying to say? But you see, like what he said, there are some choices of career you make which may also affect future growth.
What do I need to deliver value in my next level? And I work to achieve that. Once I get that, then I start dreaming of the next level. So I'm a man of, this probably not tied with our type of business, I'm a man of mid to very short term aspiration. Get that done quickly, then set the next level. I don't want to unnecessarily set a 10-year target and keep deceiving myself that I'm progressive, whilst in actual sense, you're not progressive. Then I do check. That's the key one I don't miss. So I always check on myself. Am I in the right direction? Is this where I need to be to continue to get the growth? Am I actually being valued here seeing what I'm doing? And if I'm not seeing that in the right space, it's probably take your next step.
What has taken me to where I am? Sacrifice, determination. I have this belief that it's either I succeed or I succeed. I don't give option to failure, because once you accommodate failure, you fail. And I have also this philosophy that in any organization I see myself, I must leave a mark of success. I must make sure that my impact is felt positively. I have this also belief or philosophy that I want to always lead. I want to be number one. What has helped me is that I don't compromise to discouragement. I don't compromise to failure. I don't give room for all this. And I don't identify with people of excuses. So I have always also try always to make sure I think properly before I take decision. So today, I've seen myself where I am, and I thank God that the future is still bright.
PremiumBeef.com.
That's our time on the program this week. It's always amazing to see men speak passionately about breaking boundaries and stereotypes for better work environment for both gender. Join us again next week for the continuation of our special report as we celebrate change makers in insurance business. Let's continue the conversation online. Connect with us on all our social media platforms. Let us know how you're choosing to challenge gender stereotypes and bias in your sphere of influence. My name is Lucy Lugbe. Until next time, from the entire team, let's all help forge a gender equal world.